Hey guys, if you think customer service is dead, if you think customer service doesn't matter, then you need to listen to this. Mr. Terrill, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Kevin. How you doing on this Wednesday?
Man, I am doing fan freaking tastic, sir. I
I know
really am. It's a beautiful day here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you're up in Ellijay, Georgia.
I am, and I'm looking out the window right now at about 8 different colors of leaves, and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't be happier.
Uh-huh. I tell you what, I love that area. And I told you when we met a couple of weeks ago that love riding the motorcycle up there. It's just beautiful, beautiful country. So I gotta ask you, what took you from St. Petersburg, Florida to LFJ, Georgia? Where did
You
that
know,
come from?
well, my wife and I, about 4.5, maybe 5 years ago, our boss at the time sent us to his cabin in the mountains of Pigeon Forge, and we just kind of went up there, zero expectations, never really vacationed in the mountains whatsoever. And we absolutely fell in love with the mountains, with the hiking vibe. It was complete opposite than, 40. Well, when we moved, it was 42 years in Florida. And
Right.
we made another trip up. And on the third trip, we were actually sitting on the deck in an A-frame in Franklin, North Carolina, just looking at this magical mountain view. And I don't know if it was myself or my wife, or one of us said, let's move. And it just
Wow.
clicked. The planets aligned. We made a point. We started manifesting. Took us about a year and a half. And we discovered this pocket of awesomeness in North Georgia that, I'll be honest with you, Kevin, did not know it existed.
Hmm.
Heard of the Blue Ridge Mountains and Blue Ridge,
Sure.
Georgia. I didn't know what LJ was. I think I probably even mispronounced it the first time. Fast forward a little over 2 years, and we could not be happier. I was actually talking to an agent yesterday from Brooksville, Florida, and they have a part-time house up there, and she actually was giving me a referral. And she was, what do you guys think about it full time up there? Do you have any regrets? And my first response is, we have absolutely zero regrets.
Isn't that nice?
It's awesome.
I tell you, and I don't even know if I told you this. I'm a transplant as well. We moved to this area in 91, and in 98, the company I had been with, I was there for 19 years, 8 months, 3 weeks, and 6 hours, but I'm not counting. But, they said that, you got to come back to Texas. And, I was almost 40 years old. I had 2 kids in high school, and I just said, yeah, I don't have to do anything. And so we chose to live here. And, we've raised our kids here. We've got grandkids here, and they all live in the Chattanooga area. And it's such a beautiful part of the country. And where you're talking about specifically in Ellijay, Blue Ridge, Franklin, North Carolina, holy smokes, just beautiful, beautiful country. So you left Georgia. You're on a long time other career. Okay. How did you get into real estate?
Well, I came up when we moved up here. I was in AC sales, passionless for me. Not saying that discounting the industry, but it became very robotic and just wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I was 55 at the time, and we didn't have the greatest experience with our move. We went through a few agents, and not discounting any of those agents, maybe just weren't the right ones for us.
Sure.
And, I brought up relocating to a new town is a challenge as it is, but when you're relocating from, a mild metropolis to a North Georgia rural mountain town, there's some culture shock and things
Sure.
that, we weren't aware of. Things that weren't brought to our attention. Maybe they weren't important to the agents that we dealt with, but we were kind of left not knowing what to do. And I brought up our situation, and there was small little silly things on the daily that we had to learn, which was okay because we learned it, but we
Sure.
weren't set up for success. And I brought this up several times to my wife, and she said, you should look into real estate. And I've got a bunch of friends in Florida and all over that are into real estate. None of them seem super, super happy and thrilled about their careers. And so I never really put much energy onto it. But
Right.
as we talked about a little bit, I'm like, you know what? I bet that would be, because I love architecture, I love homes, I love the nature, all those thrown into that career. I'm like, I bet that would be kind of fun. A lot of people don't have to move to the mountains. They're not being relocated to the mountains. So it's kind of like a lot of people are doing either relocating like myself, or investment properties, fund properties. Let me put it
Sure.
that way.
Sure.
And I think that takes a little bit of the career challenge out of it, because people are good things, good spirits, happy moves. I'm not saying relocating for work isn't a happy move, but if you're forced to move or
That's
forced to
right.
relocate or something like that. And I had a conversation with an agent that actually we purchased their house. We're living in a agent's house and said, you should come to work for REMAX. One thing led to the other. I reached out to my broker. Actually, I didn't reach out to my broker, but my current boss, actually, I requested a letter of recommendation. And unbeknownst to me, he sent the letter to her. And my broker said, have Terrill come in tomorrow, and which I did, went in tomorrow, made a great connection with her, and the rest is kind of history. I got my license on July 6th of 2023. And I got to be honest with you, Kevin, I have not stopped since.
That's fantastic. And it's funny, not funny, haha, but it's funny sometimes because I hear this a lot because I like to know the history. I like to know how people got into the industry. And a lot of times, and I'm saying probably 80 to 85% of the time, it's either with a good experience or with a bad experience. Okay. And with a good experience and they enjoy working with an agent like yourself, they have a great experience and we're taking care of people that makes them want to, that strikes something in somebody that wants to do this. A bad experience, on the other hand, is saying, you know what, there's a need and there's a way to do it better. But I've got, this, when you were talking, this is the next thing that popped in my mind. So 42 years in Florida. Okay. You move to a smaller rural town. Okay. That's an established town. Okay. You get into a business where you don't know the people, you don't know the surroundings. Okay. And I'm just guessing that a lot of these firms that are in the LJ area, they're probably lifelong people that have lived there. Okay.
100%.
How have you set yourself up different? Because you are successful. You are very successful because this is going to sound cocky, and I don't mean it to sound cocky, but you hit our radar. Okay. Because I follow people, I research people, and I want people that are positive. I want people that are ethical. I want people that are successful. Okay. That we like to honor on our podcast. So, what has set you up for success? What's your secret, and how have you done it?
Well, I got to be honest with you, Kevin. I think the biggest thing is the focus on the people. Not discounting. I wouldn't take anything away from one agent that I've encountered up here because they're all amazing. You nailed it. There's so many people up here whose family have been up here for not just a minute, but for hundreds of years.
Right.
Which is kind of awesome. I see that as a mild challenge. I just can't sit back and wait for stuff to come to me. I have to go chase it.
Right.
I've always kind of been a people person, a communicator. Sometimes I talk too much. And I really do like to take care of people. My previous boss, and if I can name check, his name is Jamie DiDomenico. He's amazing. And he really laid the foundation. Even though I have a background in customer service, I have a degree in communication. The 5+ years that I was with this company, the biggest thing was taking care of people.
That's
and
right.
That just clicked to me. It wasn't hard for me to grasp that because I was basically already practicing that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a good, energetic, happy, positive person, people want to be around you.
That's right.
People are attracted to you. I've tried to get it involved with our community as much as possible. Joined the Chamber of Commerce, became an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce. January of this year, I became the chairperson for Keep Gilmer Beautiful, which is it's an advisory board for the county, but we're all volunteers, and it's Keep Gilmer Beautiful. Our biggest thing is litter.
Sure.
Our biggest program is Adopt a Road, but just small things like that to just be involved. And I think the happier you are, and if you make it known that you want to take care of the people and that's your main focus, I want to be extremely successful in this career. However, my main goal is taking care of people and everything falls into place. And one of my first transactions last year was a couple that was moving from North Carolina, relocating. And she was so nervous. And she would call me every single night with something. And she was always second guessing herself. And I remember having a conversation with Felicia. I'm like, are you nervous? She's like, well, absolutely. I'm like, are you scared? She's like, absolutely. I said, but you're excited. Absolutely. I said, well, then you're doing it right.
That's
right. If you're not experiencing those emotions, because you should be a little scared, You're
That's right.
relocating to a strange town. They made that transaction so seamless. Everything was dialed in from meeting them that morning when they all pulled into their new house. I had the keys in hand. I see them all the time in LJ. I see them at the gym. We've become friends.
Mhm.
And only thing I did was be myself and took
That's
care
right.
of the people. And it was amazing. It's a that's just one experience that I've been blessed to go through in this past year. Just that instilling that taking care of people is what you have to do. I mean, that's what we're all here for, regardless.
You know, if I didn't want to tear up my mic, I'd pick it up and just drop it. Okay. Because at the end of the day, sir, at the end of the day, it is about people. Okay. And people know in our business, we call it commission breath. Okay. And people know when it's about the money. And the day that it's about the money is the day that it's over for both of
Done.
us.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a great career. I love it. And you used the word blessed. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. In my life, it was a job for the first 6 or 7 years. Okay. And I worked for what they call a refinance shop. Okay. When I got in the purchase business in '06, focusing 100% on purchases, the refis I do now are for past clients, or if I get a referral from a past client. It changed my thinking. And for the first time, Terrill, it was a calling. I knew that God had me in this business for a reason, and it was a true calling. And what you just described, that people, it is highly emotional. It's highly scary. And us being able to walk a family through that and to be able to, and even after 25 years, I still get excited to say yes. I had a conversation, an hour conversation, a 3-way conversation with one of my partners here in Chattanooga and a young family that's moving up. Okay. And they're scared to death. And we had this conversation, and what I told them, I said, okay, I'm going to be your daddy right now. Okay. Take a step back, think about this, talk to your parents, talk to the people that you talk to get your financial advice. Pray about this, because if it's right, it'll happen. Because it's not about, no matter how good a salesperson you are, you couldn't sell me a house. Okay. You couldn't. If it's not the right fit for me and my wife, there's no way you could talk me into it. I can't talk somebody into taking a mortgage. Our job is to walk them through that process, to help them understand the process. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, there's always the next one,
The
you
next
know?
one. Yeah.
So, well, let's do this. What's the best? And number one, thank you for doing this, man. I
No,
tell
thank
you
you.
what,
This is awesome.
this is, I wish continued success for you, brother. I know even after talking to you 2 or 3 times now, you're going to rock this, and I can't wait to follow your success even better. What's the best way for somebody to reach you?
Phone number, or I have a website, getclosedwithcarlson.com.
Okay,
And it's got my listings on there. It's got some great bios, some amazing blogs. I've been doing a monthly blog on there, and my phone number's on there. My email's on there. So getclosedwithcarlson.com is by far the best way to get to it. I'm pretty proud of that website, which my wife designed. That's
very
it.
nice.
You can learn a little bit about me more in depth. It's got a great bio, a couple pictures of my dog on there. We're big dog people.
I saw it. Yeah,
And we
I
have
saw
10
that.
we have 10 dogs.
10 dogs.
10 dogs, yes,
I
sir.
didn't know that.
And you
That's
can't believe it right now because you can't hear anything inside except a little meditation music in the background.
Well, guys, again, I'm Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans, the Kevin Blair team. Our website is kevinblairteam.com. Our office number is 423-488-7571. At nights, on the weekends, it does ring to me. So, Terrill, the only time I don't answer is when we're at church and she takes my phone away from me, because she knows I'd answer a text, and I need to be paying attention to what.
My wife, there's certain times she's like, you can have this back in an hour. So
That's right. Absolutely. Well, guys, if you like this kind of information, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're looking at the North Georgia area, the North Georgia mountains, give this man a call. He's going to take care of you. And especially if you are transplanting there, okay? He's been through it. He knows what you're going to be going through. And I promise you, he will take care of you. Terrill, sir,
I will
thank
take
you.
impeccable care of them.
There you go. There you go. Hey, sir, thank you again for doing this. Man, it was a pleasure.
No, I feel honored. Thanks you, Kevin.
And I can't wait to do some business with you, sir.
Sounds like a plan, sir. Looking forward to it.